I just want to publicly say this, that as a black man, I'm always, first things first, I'm 1,000% voting for Donald Trump, number one, okay? And I just want to say that I'm never going to vote for somebody off the color of their skin or based off, oh yeah, this person, oh, she's a woman, so I'm gonna just vote for her. No, I think that's completely backwards thinking. And I think that people that are saying those things aren't even really thinking at all. I definitely am looking at who's more qualified for the job. And Trump has proven time and time again that he's the man for the job. He's the man with the plan. Okay, he's the man for the job. And people don't want to see that. They just want to do whatever they want, whenever they feel like it, and whatever they feel like they think, well, they're not thinking, whatever they feel like is right, they just want that to just be. And that's not how this thing works, okay? And we see what that type of way of doing things has gotten us. It's gotten us a jacked up country. It's gotten us inflation. It's gotten us sky high mortgages and rents and all this other stuff. And people's car notes are sky high. Groceries groceries are is a car note. Okay, I'm in America sitting here with dang near 2 car notes. Like, that's crazy. Okay, like, and there's many people like that. It's crazy out here. So it's a wild time to be alive, and definitely a time that, you know, it's important to stay prayed up, hold your loved ones, all that kind of stuff, and focus on, you know, making sure you vote. Make sure you vote. Make sure you vote. I'm not saying who to vote for, but I definitely am not voting for Kamala Harris. Cackling Kamala. All right. So there's no chicken balk for me. So that's that. And as always, shout out to the King Squad. You guys are the bomb.com, and I hope everybody's having a blessed and prosperous day. You guys are the bomb.com, and if nobody told you today, you are an amazing person. And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate all your support. As always, I always want to say this as well. Thank you to everybody who keeps me updated and donates to the channel and supports the channel, leaves a positive comment, and shares these videos. Thank you to each and every single one of you guys. And when you share these videos, definitely be sure to tag me so I can, you know, support that and all that kind of stuff and repost it and all that and the above. So we're going to get into this. I will give my commentary periodically throughout the video, more so in the back end. Let's go.
This election's crazier than a soup sandwich. One president dropped out, the other was shot in the head. Now you've got a female black Democrat campaigning for the white vote and a white Republican guy campaigning for the black vote. And the Hispanics are like, hola, over here. Trump flew to Chicago today for the Black Journalists Convention. First time Republican nominee to do that in 20 years.
Wow.
Kamala was also invited, but she said she was too busy. But the guy who showed up was treated worse than the woman who ditched.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense, and then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. they couldn't get their equipment working or something was
Mr.
wrong.
President, I would love
I think
if you
it's
can
a
answer the
very
question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I
believe
have
that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
That moment changed the campaign.
Yep.
Donald Trump ripped the news cycle right out of Kamala's hands.
Yep.
That exchange is going to be seen by millions of black Americans. It'll be seen by everyone. And how they react to it will decide the country's future. This is like the Megyn Kelly moment at the debate. Remember, only Rosie O'Donnell. It's going to leave a mark. They say half of life is showing up. Donald Trump showed up. Kamala Harris didn't. Donald Trump didn't have to go to the National Black Journalists Convention in Chicago. What just happened could even cost him votes. But he wanted to go because, as president, he wants to work for them. Kamala not showing up is taking the black vote for granted. Wow. If you're invited into someone's house and they disrespect you, doesn't matter who they are, what they look like, black, female, whatever, Trump doesn't tolerate disrespect. And as president, whether you like him or not, whether he makes you feel uncomfortable or not, that's the attitude you want in a leader. Someone who works for your vote and who doesn't allow the country to be disrespected. Might not look pretty, but it works. And his presidency proved that. Mr. Nice Guy, Joe Biden, and laughing Kamala Harris, politically correct, but cowards, won't stand up for our sovereignty or our safety. So what if Biden and Harris say all the right things and don't make you feel anxious? Country's a mess. Your feelings are the problem. These insecure people are so privileged that they're putting their own personal feelings about a president's vibe over their own countrymen's lives. People are being hurt in America by smooth-talking politicians. In that moment, Trump's not worried, does this hurt me politically? He's defending his honor. He's doing what he thinks is right because his policies benefited the black community more than Biden-Harris's. He doesn't care if you call him rude or racist if he knows he's doing what's right. This country's in too bad of shape to be so sensitive. Black communities are furious that Kamala Harris, a black woman, flooded their neighborhoods with migrants and showered the foreigners with welfare. And she didn't show up today.
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of...
That was really powerful and extreme facts, okay? And a lot of people are waking up, and this clip definitely did that. This clip right here, seeing Trump on stage and just standing his ground and not tolerating disrespect and speaking the truth right there and staying bold and standing in who he is. That's exactly the qualities we want in a leader. That's exactly why we're voting for him. Okay, if you are voting for him. And this is not to convince anybody to vote for him or anything. This is simply just stating the facts and the obvious. And that, and it was so well put that the entire, culture appropriate stuff that Biden was doing and the cackling stuff Kamala was doing, that stuff doesn't work, okay? The country is in shambles, okay? People are really hurting out here. People don't know where their next meal is coming from, okay? People are in cold homes, all right? People, well, it's summertime as I'm recording this in my location, so people are without being able to pay certain bills and stuff like that. It's a crazy time. It's a very trying time, and prayers out to those families as well, okay? And so this is definitely the time to bring logic and reason back and really look at, okay, how do we put this thing back together? Okay, it's not feelings that get your bills paid. I'm just gonna say it. All right, it's the facts. It's logic and rationale. It's doing the work. All right, putting a plan together and then taking action, and that's what we need leading our country.
Neighborhoods with migrants and showered the foreigners with welfare, and she didn't show up today.
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best.
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is.
Here we go. Here we go. Get ready for the chicken box. Not from Trump, but yeah, from these journalists.
Anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people. I have a feeling it's much more than that. And everybody's been seeing what's happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that, and Kamala is allowing it to happen.
Could Kamala Harris sit in front of an audience like that, a black audience, and justify pumping millions of migrants into their streets? They're not putting migrant shelters in the white dudes for Harris neighborhoods. They're putting them in the south side of Chicago. But the ABC reporter didn't want to listen and kept interrupting him. And Trump was a pretty good sport, even after they kept him waiting 30 minutes and couldn't get the audio straight.
First of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment, because I guess, this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
We covered you extensively, sir. I'd love to move over on to different topics.
I didn't notice you do any publicity on it at all.
Still being extremely rude, continuously interrupting him, and it's really disgusting.
I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where
sir,
I have a hostile judge.
We have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
Excuse you, you're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
We didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
And 2 days after that,
I cannot understand. Your microphone
I know,
is so
it is
muffled.
really hard for me to
it's
understand
just,
you too.
I can understand you perfectly.
Because she's closer.
I can understand you.
Happy to hear that, sir.
But I can't
really
understand, Harris.
I have a few more questions.
Because of the distance, and the mics are really in lousy
One in the middle, she's mad.
shape.
In between technical difficulties.
Shout out to Trump, man. Seriously. I love to see it. I love to see it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps the video get out there so more people can enjoy this content and be exposed to the truth, just like you right now. So let's get right back into it.
And the mics are really in lousy shape.
In between technical difficulties, Donald Trump was asked about Kamala Harris and DEI, a political minefield for politicians, but Trump shut his eyes and waltzed right in.
Republicans on Capitol Hill have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you?
Notice how they snuck Black and Asian. Just call it like it is. She's Jamaican and Indian. Okay, she's not black. She's not black.
Party ticket as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir,
of
I'm
that.
asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
She definitely has not.
I respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe
I
that
think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
really
have
don't
said?
know.
She's talking to him in such a condescending manner, such a condescending tone. It's just, I mean, you can't get mad at him for standing his ground. Okay, he's a whole political nominee. He's literally running to be the leader of our nation. Do you want him to be weak? Don't let liberals answer that question. They'll say yes. They want him to be a part of the crayon community. They want him to be let me stop.
I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
Would Jesse Waters have answered the question that way? Probably not. Is this going to help the Trump campaign? I don't know. No idea. At this point, we don't know how this plays, but people are going to be talking about it for months, and Johnny's going to be there for that. Trump touched a nerve with the media, that we know.
Is probably some of the most disgusting rhetoric I've heard at the presidential level. That Donald Trump believes that he is the arbiter of what it means to be black in the United States.
This was offensive. This was ignorant. This was graceless.
He came to use them as a backboard to score with the MAGA crowd to say.
He needs to take that somewhere else. I'm sorry. I just have to say it. I just had to say I can't fake it. I can't. I couldn't sleep with myself at night if I didn't say that. He needs to go and take that somewhere else. Trump did exactly what he should have done. I'm going to say that right now.
Hey, I'm one of y'all. I will go to their own conference and do everything but call them the N-word.
Does the media talking about Kamala's race help?
Hey,
The arbiter of what it means to be black in the United States.
This was offensive. This was ignorant. This was graceless.
He came to use them as a backboard to score with the MAGA crowd to say, I'm one of y'all. I will go to their own conference and do everything but call them the N-word.
Does the media talking about Kamala's race help or hurt Kamala's campaign? We'll see. Kamala's mother's Indian and her father's Jamaican, and she's referred to identity in different ways in her political career, which makes no difference at all to me, but maybe it does to African Americans. I have no idea. These are uncharted waters. Trump told Kamala, you ain't black. All Democrats want to do is talk about identity, and when Trump talks about identity, they go nuts.
Yep.
They say DEI is great, and when you say you're a DEI hire, they say you can't say that. This proves Trump's not afraid of Kamala Harris and is not going to avoid issues. He's going to confront them. He's not going to change, even after dodging an assassin's bullet. The week after the attempt on his life, in the first 20 minutes of his RNC speech, when he held the country in the palm of his hand and appeared to have ascended into a higher realm of consciousness, we're seeing that's an impossible state to maintain. He's going to come back down to earth. He may have moments where he rises back into the political heavens and unites the country with calm wisdom, but those moments could be fleeting, which is why this country must take emotion out of their vote. This is a choice over leadership. You tune out the he said, she said, and use your natural gift of reason.
Politics are the most disgusting.
Thank you.
Nasty. It's atrocious what is said in politics. And the things that are being said on one side are being said on the other side too. And as voters, what we need to do is cut through all the BS, and you have to look at who do you think is best fit to run the country for the next 4 years. That is our job as voters. All of this stuff is a bunch of nasty BS, all of it.
And there you have it. Pretty interesting right there. Pretty interesting. And yeah, they're irate with Trump just standing his ground. But like I stated previously within the video, I mean, what do you want in a leader? Okay, at times it's not going to be pretty. Okay, it's going to get ugly many times, more than not. Okay, and that's just the role of being a leader. Sometimes when you're leading, you're hated, but that comes with the job. Okay, I'd rather have somebody who's willing to get the job done than somebody who will say things to my face just to say it. Okay, just a bunch of nothings. I don't want that. I want somebody who will stand on their own 2 feet, stand their ground, and mean what they say, and actually put their best foot forward and put in a real effort to get things done. Okay, that kind of thing. Somebody who gets things done. Let me state that as well. And I definitely believe that's Trump. It's definitely not Biden. And to say it is, well, you couldn't have been living in America the last 4 years. To sit here and say you don't want Trump in office, you must not be an American citizen. And that's just what it's going to be. So that's all for this video, you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. As always, I hope everybody's making their money legally. Go make some money legally. This is not financial advice. And drink your water. Take a walk. You woke up this morning. Enjoy your day. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Comment down below what you guys think about everything within that conference. Really interesting stuff. Peace.